Good evening. Just checking my audio was working. Apologies for the delay. Right, I'm taking these off. I think we're good. Right, Andy from the Crawling here. And yeah, so tonight I am here to do it's a brief live stream to chat about Sparrow, which is our new single, which I'm sure most of you know is coming out on February 2nd. But we'll get to all that. So just double checking my audio was working. Yep, Stuart is on the wings doing technical support. That's all good. So yeah, so Andy from the Crawling here. I'm just doing a Facebook live stream, chat about all things Sparrow and where we are with the Crawling at the moment. So what's up first on my agenda? First of all, obviously, the glaringly obvious, we are still in coronavirus lockdown fucking madness. I hope you're all keeping well. This has dragged on a lot longer, I think, than anyone has expected or hoped for. And yeah, it's still a bit balls. So yeah, so I hope everyone is keeping okay and no one's getting sick. And if you are getting sick, you're getting better. And, you know, hope your families aren't too badly affected, if at all. And yeah, just doing your best to get through this. It's the same here in Northern Ireland. We are still under quite a strict lockdown. And like we literally only allowed like one other household in our house and stuff. So yeah, it's all very strict, and there's still no bars, there's no live music, there's no normality, and life is still full of purposelessness. So yes, I share your pain, but it really can't last forever. Right, so I'm gonna see who's on here. Say, make sure people are with us this evening. Gavin McAllister. Gavin, hello, how are you, mate? Dimitri from Russia, I believe. Dimitri, how are you? And John Shason, hello, mate. Who else have we got? Joe. Joe is away. He said hello and then he has to go. No worries, mate. I'll catch you later. Stuart's there, as I say. A few others. Good to see you. Looking forward to the new song. Yes, new song is not far away. So I thought I would do just a bit of a chat about Sparrow, the single itself, why we did it, what it is. The reason we did a single was just because, like I say, I didn't really imagine this was going to go on this long, and we had planned to do an album this year, but obviously that all fell down arse. And you know, people that follow the band know we released a few things. We did the vlogumentary thing, done a few other vlogs and bits and pieces, done some playthroughs, basically done as much as we can, bearing in mind we can't hang about together. So the album is completely on hold. I have been writing material, but again, it's not very organic writing just by myself and, you know, sharing files and stuff like that. So Sparrow was the only track that we had done in the rehearsal room up to sort of gig ready. So that's why we decided, okay, Sparrow is good, so let's record it. There is some vloggy stuff coming in relation to Sparrow, but as I say, it was the only track we were able to play. So it was the only track we were able to record at the level that we were happy to release. And again, we've run out of stuff. It was like we think it was time to put some music out. So the actual recording process was challenging. So Gary recorded the drums. I sent him over the click file and the guide guitars and guide vocals. Sent those over to Gary. He recorded the drums. It was over a period where we were allowed, 2 meter distancing was a thing. So I was able to go there, set the stuff up, leave him to it. He recorded the drums, and then I took them away. So I had the drums. I then sent the drums to Stuart with the guide guitar, and he got a studio set up in the house, and he recorded the bass. He sent that to me. I put it on my session, and then I layered up the guitars and vocals, and it was all done in my sort of studio at home. So that was weird because we don't usually record like that. We usually record together and use each other for, making changes. More often than not, we'd go to record something and go, that's not working, so let's go back and make a few changes. And it's all a bit more organic. But this song was in a pretty finished state, so I think it's most representative of the way we'd normally record a track. So that was Sparrow. That's done. The song itself, again, it just seemed to lend itself. It was written lyrics wise. It was all written before the pandemic happened. I have lyrics sitting for years, months on end. It was written in response to something that happened that I know of and people in Belfast would know of. And yeah, it was just written about an individual suffering from hopelessness and isolation and not feeling that anyone was there to help. So it's not specifically about anyone completely individual. It's about that scenario, which is where Sparrow came from. So as much as I'll say about that, the lyrics are included whenever they'll be on YouTube and Bandcamp stuff like that when the song's released. There's also digital files available if you download the track. Now, so one track was done. We had that squared away, and one track didn't quite seem enough. Wanted to make it something more. So, as I say, rather than try and force a track that wasn't ready, we came up with the idea of doing a cover song. We did talk about doing an Entomb cover or Bolt Thrower, something like that. But again, it was just going to turn into a very similar version due to the nature of how we sound. So we thought we'd do something else. And Gary picked Bjork Play Dead. It was fuck all to do with me, or Stuart for that matter. I don't really listen to a lot of music outside of heavy metal. I am quite one-dimensional in my listening, whatever. So when it came to covers, I was kind of like, look, you may come up with something because I have no fucking idea. I just want to do Anathema Sleepless or something like that. So Gary came back with Bjork. I don't know the song. I'd never heard it. But he sent me the lyrics, and the lyrics worked. And the sound of it, the pace of it, matches Sparrow. There's something interconnected about the two songs. It really works. And because the songs are written, so sort of recorded one, then started to write the Sparrow or write the Bjork sort of version. The guitar lines, there's overspill, and that ties the songs together even more. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It was interesting. I say I've never done a cover before like that. So translating a very much a pop song into death doom metal was fun. And I also learned to play keyboards slightly so that I was able to put some of the layering that Bjork has. So yeah, so that's basically where the two tracks came from. Gonna have a look, see what's going on. So here we got online Chris Pullen. So we're just going back to talk about the vaccine. Chris has had the first vaccine, still sore shoulder, no side effects. Yeah, I am fully vaccinated, and I had quite a shit reaction to both of them. Felt like crap for 4 days each time, but now I'm done and feel great. 1-2 Luck, what's up, kiddo? Evening. Elise, will it be available on iTunes? Yes. Sparrow, when it is officially released, will be, I'm sure most of you know this by now, it will be CD, tape, and iTunes, Spotify, all major streaming platforms. It'll all be available, and you can buy it to download and that sort of stuff. So someone's asked, is there a double meaning in the Sparrow title? I was just thinking about the girl with arrows in her in the cover, Sparrow, arrow. Yeah, well, I think that comes from the artwork. So I was going to talk about that next. So let's talk about the artwork. So Calvin from Serpent Tusk Studio did the artwork, and it was done for us. We've been trying to work with Calvin for must be nearly a year, but between his calendar and then we weren't really doing anything, then we weren't sure what we were doing. We weren't really able to get something to happen. He was working on another shirt for us, and then I put it on hold because gigs got cancelled. And then when we came up with Sparrow, it was like, Calvin, let's get Calvin on board. And I sent him demo tracks, the lyrics, and everything I felt in relation to this track. He got that way before it was recorded, because I wanted to have the artwork totally squared away, and he totally nailed it. It's fantastic. So it's really Calvin's interpretation through the information we gave him. So in terms of the Sparrow and the arrow, possibly. Again, that was probably down to Calvin more than me. So somebody asking, written by David Arnold, isn't it? Yes, it is. Because talking about the Bjork track, Play Dead is a David Arnold track because it is a cover. We had to jump through a lot of hoops to be able to release it under the crawling, which I knew, which is why I've always avoided covers because all that sort of stuff can be quite difficult. Um, so yeah, the artwork that was all done, I say, by Calvin. Fantastic job. So there's links to it all through our stuff. Go to Serpent Tusk Studio, drop it a thumbs up. He's done work. I mean, he's doing work for like proper famous bands now. You know, Mastodon and other bands I can't remember the name of right now because I didn't write it down. So the actual what we're doing it on, I have them here because they have arrived. And the thing with when you manufacture CDs and just any sort of merchandise, it never really comes back how you expect it to, and you try to compensate in the artwork to make it look well. This worked instantly, which is probably more down to Kelvin than anything else. So the CD, check that out. So it's a real glossy digipack, and by Grind Scene Records, of course, Code 7. So yeah, and we managed to get a photo of Exposing Shadows did during the Wolves session, and one that wasn't used, and it was reworked and re-edited, and CD. And it's a real CD. It's glass mastered. It's not a CDR. The cassette is the same. There's something about cassettes. It's the noise. They're so fucking cool. So that is the tape. And again, it's slightly different, formatted slightly differently, which is cool. And I will be hand numbering every cassette. And they won't be reprinted, same as the other cassettes we've done. Metal badges came out at the same time. I don't know if this will work. These commies are really cool as well. Probably too small for the camera to pick up. You get the idea. Metal brooch badges. This goes back to my younger heavy metal days. Whenever you had leather jackets when you were like 15, 16, and you got the big metal, Cannibal Corpse Butcher to Birth brooch, which I still have 20. Fuck. It's like nearly 30 years old. Fuck me. Frightening. And we also have, we have a very limited number of these, but there is a limited edition postcard that goes out with the first lot of orders, which is also something to talk to about in relation to the lovely single. The response to the single in terms of sales has been overwhelming. So thank you to everybody for continuing to invest in the crawling. I see the names and I know it's the same people a lot of the time are buying our stuff, and it's fantastic. There is very much a crawling community, and it's really fucking tight, and it's very, very strong. And these are the people. And there's new orders coming in, which is fantastic to see. I love seeing new fans of the band come in, but I also see the people that continue to support us and, buy the stuff that we put out. I think it's high quality stuff, and I hope you enjoy it. But it really is very cool. Which brings on to the number of these. Because it's only 2 tracks, I wasn't sure what the demand would be, so we printed a limited number, and it's being distributed through Code 7, and they've come back and they've wanted a lot more than I expected. And we have to keep the distributors happy because it keeps the online stuff happy. So it leaves us with a lot less stock than we anticipated. So we've been left with, let me work out my percentages now. We've only been left with 40% of the CDs from what's gone out to the distributors, and they're starting to sell out. I don't mind repressing the CD, but I probably won't. I think we're just going to leave this. So as a limited edition 2-track, this is it, basically. Once these are gone, there's no more CDs. It will be online and stuff, but I'm not doing any more. So if you do want the CD, you do need to pick it up. So let's see what else is going on. Colin Whitten, good work, guys. Thank you. Appreciate that, Colin. Mark Russell, hello, mate. All looks good. CD looks awesome. Cheers, Jimmy. Andy. Jimmy. Really? You can explain that to me next time I see you. Did you how many cassettes there will be? There is a limited edition of these. same as we did for the Wolves. We did 50, and all had numbered, as I say. We're about 35 in, 30 tapes in, I think, sold so far. So yeah, there's still a good lot of tapes left. We're okay with that. It's a very specific audience, and I think there's still 3 or 4 left from the 50 of the Wolves ones, so it should be okay. I don't. Someone's asking to see the t-shirts. Sorry, I don't have them yet. The t-shirts, they are quite expensive to make due to the number of colors, and there's a few extra things. So they're pre-ordered. So I don't have the shirts. I will be ordering. I'll be closing the pre-orders probably this Friday. Yeah, talk about that in a minute, and then I'll order the shirts, and then once they come in, I'll put pictures up or a video so you can see them. Can't wait to wear the shirt. Cheers, Mark. Is Sparrow a good representation of what might appear on a future full-length release? Yeah, it is. The writing changed slightly just as we started writing the new album. I mean, I knew when I wrote Sparrow, it was for the new album, so everything's geared towards it. It was the first track we wrote, so it's probably the track that's most similar to something off Wolves. The further we've gone the writing, the further the music has moved away from Wolves. But again, all the tracks for the album so far I've written on my own with very, very little input from Stuart and Gary because we haven't been together to really do it. So I don't, at the minute, they're not a fair representation of what's going to be on the album. But Sparrow is along the right lines. And again, so what I was going to say there in relation to if you are going to buy something, I don't usually bother with this, but just because it was something new, I think it's relevant. Bandcamp this Friday are waiving their fees, which means we get a lot. We get all the money that people invest in the band comes to us, rather than Bandcamp taking their cut. And it's a substantial cut for us. Every now and again, what happens is they take a share from what you earn. It's supposed to come from digital, but because we do sell quite a lot of physical merchandise, they have to get it off us. So for sake of argument, every 10 t-shirts we sell, we lose an entire t-shirt sale on fees. Now that's not 100% accurate, but it's a lot. Every now and again, we get a notification, oh, you've sold the t-shirt, and you get no money because it goes towards paying for Bandcamp. Because ultimately, it's a free service, but it's not. Which I had no problem because it is very, very good. No beers tonight. This lockdown thing, skinny fat man, no beers during the week anymore. So, also just a quick shout out, if anybody's watching from any of the magazines or fanzines or blogs that covered it, we've had a lot of people just basically running the story that we are releasing a single. All those shares and likes and mags mentioning our name really helps push it out, into the social media land, which is where we live right now because all we have is virtual life. So we really do appreciate everyone. All the mags have done that, and if you're in a magazine or you know someone in a magazine, drop them a line, just tell them to get in touch with the band and we can get promo copies out and stuff like that. It's all digital now, so it's very fast and just an email. Gig wise, not a lot has changed. As I said last time we were chatting, I wasn't going to book any more gigs until gigs happened, unless it was something particular. Bloodstock was moved and it is still going ahead, so we're still booked in for it. Currently we're on the Thursday, and until we hear otherwise, as far as I'm concerned, we're playing Bloodstock. It's happening. And the last thing we got booked from when I was last chatting was we were booked in to play with Winterfellith on their Irish tour September time. So that's 3 dates: Belfast, Dublin and Limerick. So I don't have the dates off the top of my head because they only just came through, and then I haven't really heard too much else about it. But again, it's all booked, so as far as I know what's happening, the moment that basically the world switches on again, we will start booking shows. But at the minute, that's all we have. All right, so I'm gonna have a quick look here because I'm just gonna go on to Q&A stuff. Somebody else asking for t-shirts. As I said, sorry, don't have them yet, but I will. As soon as I get them, I'll put photos and stuff up. Brian, hello Brian, how are you? Elise, yeah, you're gonna buy it Friday. Thank you, appreciate that. Joe Duffin broke a few speed limits there, threw the girlfriend out of the car while it was still moving. Proper order, mate. Proper order. Nice to have you. Hope you're keeping well. Silka. Hi, Silka. Yes, no German beer. Water. I'm on the water. I'm being sensible. Jimmy, I wish I'd known the fees thing before I ordered. No, it's no problems at all, mate. Because honestly, Bandcamp is a great resource, and the same way you want to reward us, I have no problems rewarding Bandcamp because it's an easy platform, it's solid, and I think, I mean, it's people trust it, so I don't mind them getting the money they deserve as well. So it's fine, mate. Honestly. Um, Chris Pullen, I know where the first play of Sparrow will be. Yes, I can confirm. I think, did we confirm, Chris? I think we did. Chris Pullen is going to put a link somewhere. I will share it later on. They will be premiering Sparrow, just the one track. They're not doing Play Dead. Don't play Dead, Chris. It's too much hassle with radio rights at the minute. So yes, he's going to premiere that this Friday, I think, and he will keep us informed, and I'll keep you informed. Jason, when does the pre-order end? I'm going to end the pre-order for the shirts on Friday. Saturday morning. I will let it all play right up until the Bandcamp waive fees thing is over, and then I'll wipe out the pre-orders. I will order extra shirts because we always sell, it's like pre-orders, and then we sell more once it's actually out and people see the shirts and all that sort of stuff. So I'll be getting extra ones, but it's more the sizing's a lottery. You know, it's impossible to know what sizes of shirts to get. So I will just order the shirts that I decide. So if you don't buy it in the pre-order, there will be shirts available, but they might not be in your size. So it's just to ensure you get your size. Mark Russell, are you still going to play Anatomy from start to finish once the gigs are back? I was looking forward to it. Mega. I don't know. I think what we may do, it does depend when things switch back on. In terms of the next show, if it was to start tomorrow, we have a new single which I need to promote, and we need to get used to playing live and starting off with a load of songs that we haven't played for 4 years now would be bad for everybody, especially me, because I don't need that stress in my life with regards to heavy metal. So no, the first show would not be the Anatomy of Loss thing. It would be something different. Probably be a Sparrow release. We'd maybe do something for that. I don't know. And if anyone else says vinyl, I'm going to kill them. But what I think I will do is delay the Anatomy of Loss until the 5th year anniversary, which would be 2022. Isn't that right? 2017 it came out? I don't know. So yes, I would say April 2022, we will do a fucking massive Anatomy of Loss show and take it from there. I might do vinyl for that. Maybe. I don't know. Dan Phillips, how you doing, mate? Good lad. Chris Pullen, CPR show, Hailsham FM, 10 p.m. Friday. Hailsham? That's not how you say that, is it? CPR show, Hailsham FM, 10 p.m. this Friday. I will get the information from Chris and I will post. So if you want to come and listen to it, it'll do it. Dimitri's going to listen on CD. He's going to wait. Cool. Jack, hi Andy. Gutted Edinburgh's cancelled. Looking forward to see you guys. Yes, we were also very gutted. Edinburgh's cancelled. Edinburgh is probably one of my favourite shows I've ever played. And it was just small, dark, 50 people, whatever, 60, 70, I have no idea, in Opium. And it is still to date one of my favourite gigs. We played for nearly an hour. It was fantastic. Shane Boyle, good man Andy, really looking forward to getting my hand in the CD and shirt Sparrow bundle. Thanks for picking up, Shane. Really do appreciate that. And you really want to do vinyl, we know. I do want to do vinyl. It's not that I don't want to do it. It's just that it would just take up all our fucking money and then we couldn't do anything ever again, including eat. I need a record deal, basically. So I think that I think that's everything I wanted to cover. Say there wasn't, obviously there's still not a lot happening, so I wasn't intending being here all night. So I did ask for a few Q&As on Instagram, which I totally forgot about, and then I had to go back and try and find them. And I remember some of the questions, and I'm sorry I can't remember the rest. I don't know where they went. So, any questions on here? Let me see what's happening. Um, when the pandemic comes down, is there any plan to tour North America? That would be fucking awesome. And it's the same as all these things. If we get booked, I will gladly play North America. America is difficult at the best of times because it's very expensive to get touring visas. So, and also Brexit. I presume you're from America, but at the moment we have a issue as Northern Ireland, part of the UK, is leaving the EU, which affects a lot of our travel, and that hasn't really been worked out how that's going to affect us properly yet, because no one's been able to play a gig, because since Brexit's happened, there's been a pandemic. So it's just been it's the year that keeps on giving. So at the moment, no plans to tour North America. I would do it if I was asked. It wouldn't be a long tour, I know that much, because we couldn't afford it. But if I could find a way to get to North America, I would definitely come over. So if you know promoters, mention our name. And yeah, one of those things. If enough people ask, we usually go. Just pulling cheers, no worries. Jason, are there any surprise with the Sparrow as in direction and musical style? No, I don't. I don't think it'll be a surprise. It's still the crawling. I think it's probably the most. It's the track that is most similar to the previous albums. I think that track lies somewhere in between. The Anatomy Lost stuff, the structures were quite simple, and by the time I got to Wolves, I maybe went too far the other way with technicalities and song structures. I think this lies in the middle. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Joe Duffin, why is making vinyl so expensive? I don't honestly know. I think it's just the manufacturing process. You need plates and it's pressed and everything's bigger. So the more paper, more ink, it just adds up. And the biggest thing is CDs used to be really dear. To get CDs pressed, for sake of argument, used to be £1,000 because you had to get 1,000 CDs. But as the market's changed into streaming, CDs aren't produced in the same quantity anymore. So manufacturing places were happy to churn out lower numbers. Lower numbers means we're able to buy them because they're a bit cheaper and you can get lower numbers. But vinyl is still sitting around that, I think it's like 1,200, 1,500 quid to get quite low numbers, which pushes the price of the vinyl up per unit. And yeah, it just makes it harder to sell. But I don't buy vinyl or listen to vinyl, so I'm not sure what sort of money people are prepared to pay. But for us to do vinyl, it would probably, it was going to have to be £15 sterling for your standard record white thing in the cardboard thing. I don't know if people are prepared to pay that or not. I'll have to wait and see. So there you are. There's a brief lesson in manufacturing and the boringness of being in a band. It is heavy metal and fun most of the time, but there's also all the shit stuff. As I fought with Facebook this week to take out an advert, which they refused because the album cover is violent. So there you are. Right, Q&As. I do have them. So anything you want to ask, I'm going to do it now. So any quick questions? Anything else coming up here? Any thoughts about the crawling fan page? No. Fan page? No. I don't think we're big enough to require one. I don't like too many platforms. I think it's better to keep what we have in as few places as possible. YouTube and Facebook would be my sort of go-to, but our Instagram is actually quite popular, so going to keep that. Twitter, I'm not even sure if I kept our Twitter account. I think I might have. If I haven't deleted it, I think I might because I don't use it. So being able to manage any sort of fan club page on top of that would be too much. I just don't have the time with everything else. Right, questions? What else do I have? Any double XL Wolves t-shirts? Yes. Yes, t-shirt. I will send that out, Joe. What else have we got? How am I? So somebody asked how I was in relation to the lockdown thing. I'm okay. I definitely had a blip, probably just after Christmas, in that it was just getting fucking tedious. And yeah, I just didn't give a fuck. Just it's just shit. You can't do anything normal, which just leads down a path of I don't care, which leads to poor eating habits, no exercise, and too much beer. Plus, I got a beer machine for Christmas, and that does not help. So, yeah, yeah. So that was ups and downs, but it was a bit shit there for a while. But I'm now on a recovery process, which is why I'm drinking water. So, a bit less beer, a bit of exercise, and it does help. Thankfully, I've been able to, well, relatively speaking, keep my job and that sort of stuff. So at least financially, I'm secure. So I'm pleased. I'm lucky that. Because of the nature of my other job, because this is my proper job, I just have another job to help pay for this. Um, because I've been fully vaccinated as well. So, you know, yeah, there's people in worse positions, put it that way. So I'm all right. Why no beard? It's a work thing. I have to wear masks occasionally, so I have to be clean shaven. But I'm also lazy, so that probably won't last very long. Somebody asked guilty pleasures, what I listen to. Guilty pleasures is a weird one. I just listen to music, but I know what you're getting at, and I know not some of my listening isn't popular, so I don't really listen to anything outside of metal, honestly. And nothing I don't think is like a guilty pleasure, but I do listen to a lot of bands that people don't expect me to, like things like Whitechapel. People get confused. I like Whitechapel. I like some metalcore bands. I like Motionless in White, and I've been listening to Architects' new track, the album, and yeah, some of it's class. So things like that. I think it's more what people wouldn't expect me to listen to. So yeah, I like a lot of stuff outside of metal, but mostly I listen to doom, death, and black metal. Kind of on a black metal trip at the minute. Depressive, suicidal, black metal a lot at the moment. It's predominantly my listening right now. Yeah, helpful. Um, so yeah, guilty pleasure, metalcore and emo, I suppose. I also have a what is my T-shirt? Escape the Fate T-shirt that really upsets people. I did roadie for them once. True story. Not roadie, sort of. Gopher. They play Belfast, and I just quite like them. That's pop metal, metalcore. I don't know what the fuck it is. I enjoy it, and I drove them around all day and got them stuff. So yeah, it was Gopher for a day. Somebody else asked, "Am I going to mix and master the next album?" As much as I would like not to do that, the answer is most likely yes. Um, the reason we do the mixing and mastering and I do everything on my own is basically because it's cheap. Because cheap is in that I already have a lot of studio equipment, so no one's ever complained about our productions. Some people seem to really like it, so I've just stuck with that. And because I save probably £5,000 recording our own stuff, means we can invest it in vinyl and t-shirts and touring, and it pays for a lot of other stuff and badges and merchandise and all that stuff, because it's all really dear, and we just pay for it ourselves and then put it out, and any money that comes back in straight back into merch. So because that's what I like in bands, I like bands that have really high quality merch and I can really get behind it. So that's what we try and do as well. So if I record it, it's more affordable. If I wasn't to record it or mix and master it, for me personally, I don't. There's nowhere in Northern Ireland that suits me. I just don't think there's anywhere in Northern Ireland that would really work for us. And even England, I'm sure there's loads of great studios, but there's nothing I can think of off the top of my head. Plus, I'm a massive control freak, so I don't think I'd be very enjoyable to be with in a studio. Um, I have thought about going to the Abyss Studios in Sweden. Peter Tagren, absolute idol of mine. And anyone knows me, that's no secret. So I would love Peter Tagren to record my album, but probably more so just so I can meet him and have drinks with him. But I think he's a control freak as well, so that might end well. But so if I can't go to the Abyss in Sweden, which would cost probably 10 grand, I'm gonna do it myself. Anything else coming through here? Someone asked about Anatomy of Loss on tape. What's happened to that? Sort of leading back to what we are chatting about earlier. That was supposed to come out for the big anniversary show in April. It was kept getting canned, so the tapes have decided not to do that until we're going to do something with a show rather than just spit the tape out. And we'll keep it and we'll do something proper together when we can do that. Um, so just asking a few other bits and pieces before I go. Uh, John Hart, why are you so gorgeous? It's moisturized from an early age, mate. Is it a no beard thing? I really don't like it. So what else is going on? £15 for vinyl is super. Definitely a pre-order or something. Yeah, pre-orders are fine, and yes, it's definitely you were pre-ordered anyway. But what happens if you sell 10 copies? Do you just cancel it and give everyone their money back? That never appeals to me. So if I'm going to put something out, it's fucking happening. So if I decide to do vinyl, it'll be done regardless. But yeah, I mean, I'll put it out to pre-order, and that'll definitely help take the sting out of it. But if I'm doing vinyl, it's happening. We will pay for it. The crawling will pay for the vinyl, and if I end up with 1,000 copies stuck in my loft on top of the 1,000 HFC CDs and the 1,000 Bad Boat CDs that I signed years ago, so be it. What do you think of the Architects album? I really like the single, Animal. I've downloaded the album, but I haven't listened to it yet. I haven't got around to it. Seen Motionless in White Belfast 2 years ago. Nice, that's cool. OST should be in the post, not wait about on YouTube. No, no, it's still here. It's still here. I'm very busy, very busy. So, right, okay, that's it. I think we're done here. That was great. I enjoyed that. It's nice to feel like we're doing something sort of band related. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and yeah, just I know this is still fucking on a computer and not real life, but it makes me feel like we're doing something crawling again, and that's cool. I needed this, and it's gonna be good to get the single out again. It feels like everyone's starting to connect again. So yeah, this will tide us over for another wee while until hopefully we can fucking play gigs again. Right, one last look. Yep, we can do that. So thanks again for tuning in, and yeah, just if you're gonna buy something this Friday, if you want to pre-order it on Friday. If not, it's cool. It'll be on iTunes. You can listen to it. You don't need to pay for it. That's well, you know what I mean. You don't need to pay for it right now. You can listen. It'll be on YouTube, all that sort of stuff. And what can I tell you that nobody else will know that isn't here? Oh, there's a strange video thing for the single. Don't tell anybody. It was all we could manage in the middle of this. So share all the stuff, do all people, and yeah, that's it. Thanks very much, folks. I'm going to end this here. And until the next time, stay miserable.